So perception and selective attentions. So perception here means the process of perceiving information about and making sense of the world around, right? So that is known as a perception. So selective attentions, we are going to pay some attentions, but selective attentions. In selective attentions there will be little bit of biasness, there will be little bit discrimination. So this is sorry, process of attending to some information received by our senses, mean that we listen, right, and interpret from our mind, and by touching, by sensing something and ignoring the other information, that we are receiving some information but we are ignoring the sum of the information. So that is a selective attentions. So that definitely will be affected by the features and characteristics of the perceiver, who is perceiving that information, who is considering, who is understanding, who is realizing, right, who is just becoming aware of and conscious of. And also the object perceived for that particular object, maybe a human or maybe a machines or maybe or any other things. So this is affected by both perceiver and object perceived. And second one is emotional makers are assigned to selective informations. Our brain quickly and non-consciously assesses incoming stimuli, right? So stimuli may be like from the senses, right? And attach emotional makers, like, so sometimes we feel worried about something that we perceived, we just indulge in some of like intentions by receiving some information, how we interpret this thing, or maybe we feel very happy or sad, right? So this is that we are perceiving from our stimuli or senses. So selective attentions biases, assumptions, we assume something, we are assuming, and we expect some expectations, we make some expectation in our mind towards other people, right? Expectation, that we know that expectation reduces the joy in life. This is the one thing, right? So expectation, we assumptions and expectations that become the basis for the biasness. That is for the selective attentions. And confirmation bias, so they confirm that no doubt this is the discrimination, this is that this is my, from my point of view, that I am considering this one, from other point of view that may be different. So perceptual grouping processes reduces information volume and complexity. So in this case, how we can perceive information about the organizations and interpretation of that. Categorical thinking, right? So organizing peoples or organizing things in such a way. Perceptual grouping principle and interpreting incoming information. So perceptual grouping principles, that sometimes we say the similar and proximity, means some of the things, the behavior is a similar behavior. Sometimes we think that our behavior towards other people, right, and other people also thinks the equal behavior with another co-workers in the organizations. The closures, like filling in missing pieces and perceiving patterns or trends. So sometimes in the interpretation we think this is the trend these days, because of the trend they perceive other group of people exactly the same according to the trend, right? So some trend may be like these kind of peoples, they are from this part of the world, they are so intelligent, right? Or they are so, like, maybe some other peoples from this community, the in the organization the people are thinking that they have some logical thinking, right? They know how to tackle with the situation, or maybe a difficult situations or a machines, they are more technical, right? So this is the interpretation. And interpreting incoming information, sometimes emotional makers automatically evaluate some informations. And now what is the mental model in a perception? if we are perceiving something, if we are getting something, the first is a knowledge structure that we develop to describe, to explain and predict the world around us. The first one is the visual. First of all, that we see something, maybe the image roadmap. According to the information that we see, that becomes the knowledge structure for us, and accordingly we predict the world around us. Relational means maybe there may be cause and effect. We have some relations in the organization, so maybe personal relations or family relations. So in the relationship that we do some communications with the world and the society, accordingly that visualize and just get and collect the knowledge, and that there will be some cause and effect of that. And importance of a sense making, right? Then if we talk about the problems in the mental models make it difficult to see the world in a different ways, right? So need to constantly questions our mental models. So there is a need to questions, right? There is need to query about this one, so about this model, so how we perceive that one based upon the knowledge, right? Sometimes the person who is perceiving that knowledge may be right or wrong. Exposing the stereotypes. South African restaurant chain Nando's recently launched a witty advertisement that pokes fun at our tendency to the stereotype people who are different from us, right? So they are stereotype people who are different from us. They from the looking, from the behavior, uh, they are just going to, for example, assessing their traits to the people based upon the membership in the social categories. So stereotyping means putting some label. Oh, these kind of people are like this. So they are putting label in their mind, right? So labeling or something. For example, the Shah Rukh Khan, that is a celebrity here in India, right? So the labeled as the romantic hero. They have just something in their mind, right? So this is just this kind of people, like this is this category. So category they are defined, they are just evaluating those category in their mind, right? So this is it means the stereotyping means the putting label. So why people stereotype? I mean, categorical thinking and fulfill drive to comprehend means try to understand and predict the other people's behavior, and support self enhancement and a social identity. So just they want to just support their self enhancement, they want to improve something, they want to show something that we are good at, we are a positive something, and also they just want to be social self. So social self is social identity they want to create. So something like these kind of people are become stereotyped people. Categorization, then homogeneous or homogenization, and differentiation. So three categories that we have: social identity and self enhancement identify or reinforce stereotyping through all these three categories. The first is categorization. Is a naturally trend to categorize the people into identifiable group. So naturally, so automatically that our mind work in such a way that automatically that it categorizes people in a different identifiable groups. Then homogenization, that assign a similar traits or within the groups, and they just find that this is exactly the same like, or this is similar quality of people or different trait and to the different groups. So one group is similar to another group, maybe one individual is identical and their behavior is identical with the another individuals in the organization. So differentiation assign more favorable attributes to our groups or less favorable to the another. So there is a differentiation, or you can say there is also the biasness. So now if we talk about the stereotypes, there may be some problems with the stereotyping. So what are the problems with the stereotyping? We can say the problems with the stereotyping mean inaccurate description of most members, and the stereotype threats, and there may be some threats, maybe external threats, and a foundation of the systematic and international discrimination. So as a global, like international discriminations means at the very big level they are just going to discriminate. There is like these people are from this particular country, their behavior should be like this because of the past experience, because of the knowledge they have perceived, because of the experience they have. So overcoming the stereotype biases, how we can overcome that, how we can remove this problem. So sometimes it is difficult to prevent stereotype activations and maybe possible to minimize the stereotype applications as well. Now next we have some attribution theory. So attribution, attribute, right? It means the perceptual process of deciding whether an observed behavior or event is caused mainly by internal or external factors. So this is some attribution theory. So attribution theory says something about like this has happened because of the internal factors or because of the external factors. Something has happened. The person who is just going to evaluate about himself or herself, there is some problem. So the problem has happened because of me or because of another person, because of the internal or external factors. So that is the attribution. They're just going to find it out. So now in this case, the perceptual process of deciding whether an observed behavior or event is caused mainly by internal or external factor. So internal attributes, what are the internal attributes and what are the external attributes? So internal attributes say perceiving that behavior or event is caused mainly by the person or maybe ability or motivation. For example, Gurdeep's is the one of the person, for example I'm taking here, Gurdeep's car breaks down on the freeway, means on the highway. If she believes that the breakdown happened because of her ignorance about the car, she is making an internal attribute. On the other side, external attributes, perceiving that behavior or event is caused mainly by the factors beyond personal controls, those factors which are uncontrollable by the human being, and maybe resources or maybe co-worker or maybe luck. An example is if she believes that the breakdown happened because of her car is old. This is not because of their own ignorance. This is because of the fault is like a car is old, right? And she is making an external attribute. It means attribute theories is saying about the internal and external attributes. So here is the rules. For example, there may be high consistency or less consistency. If we talk about the consistency, if we talk about distinctiveness, maybe high or less means yes or no, and third one is the consensus, maybe no or yes. So some of the internal attributes are there, some of the external attributes are there. So internal attributes are saying the behavior is attributed to the personal factor, and on the other side external attributes are saying the behavior is attributed to the situational factors. So if in this case we can see that the consistency, did this person act this way in this situation in the past, means this is the behavior of the person in the organization. If say like this kind of person have done the same kind of things before in this organization, or this is the first time that is happening. If you say yes, he has been doing this thing number of times in this organization, so it means that is consistency. So if it means if this is happening because of this, it means there is a high consistency. If there is a high consistency, means occurrence of same thing again and again, again and again. For example, there is some mistake is done by one of the employees. This mistake is only for first time, or second time, or third time, or continuously it is heavy. It means if it is yes, answer is yes, it means this is the internal attributes. Otherwise, external attributes. Maybe some other reason, right? Doing this kind of mistake is their habit, means internal. Doing this kind of mistake because of the some external factor, that is external attributes. If on the other side, if we say distinctiveness, does this person act this way in another situation? If this kind of situation is there, if the person is doing the same thing, is consistency. But if the person is doing some another thing in another situation, different reaction, different people, different reactions, then that is a distinctiveness. Means he is like unique and distinctive towards their attribute, towards their reactions, right? If it is high, mean uh, for example, if this is saying like low distinctiveness, so it means that is the internal factors. Low distinctiveness. If there is high distinctiveness, right, so it means external factors. Consensus means a group of people, not a one person, it's a group, majority. What other people act this way in this situation, it's normal, right? Normally, if we ask the majority of the people how they behave normally, right? If they say they behave their behavioral percentage is less than 50%, you can say, means low consensus. It means if it is you can say this is internal attributes. Internal attributes, this is not because of the internal attributes, right? It is only because of the external attributes, because majority of the people that do this one. Now internal attributes, when high consistency, the person has had some behavior or outcome in this situation in the past. It means employees or produces a poor quality on this machine. For example, some of the employees, they are just making a poor quality on this machine every quarter, every month, every week, every day. So it means what is that? That is also internal attributes, right? This is the one example of that. Low distinctiveness, the person has same behavior and outcome in other situation. It means this person is having a similar kind of a behavior. They are not distinctive, they are not unique, the output is not unique. In this situation, this is only because of that. In this situation, again, that is the same thing that is doing. Means employee produces poor quality on other machines. If the one machine is there, on this machine poor quality. If another machine, not that one, another new machines, again the poor quality as compared to the other one. It means that is only because of the internal attributes, not the external one. Now if you say consensus, other people have a different behavior outcome in this situation. In this situation, other people having a different attributes, means other produces good quality on this machine, but that person is making a low quality. But majority of the people, they do good, but this person is doing the bad quality product. It means this is only and only because of the internal attributes. It's a very good example of this, makes you clear about these three. Now if we talk about the attribution and errors, importance of attribution process, improve our mental model of causations, and we respond differently to the different attributions, internal or external, of our own behavior and performance. Right? So self-serving bias. What is a self-serving bias? Bias means a discrimination, attributing our failure to the external cause and our successes to the internal cause. Means that is what we are making bias, we are discriminating, we are attributing, we are just considering there is some failure of this is not only because of me, this is because of the another things, mean external factors. This is what we are doing, and if we are getting success, this is only because of me, right? It means biasness. totally biasness. That is the self-serving biases or bias. It is it happens it happens due to the self-enhancement process. And fundamental attribution error means correspondence bias, tendency to overemphasize the internal cause of others' actions. Sometimes the other actions are there, right? So what is the tendency? What is the normal routine? Tendency to uh, overemphasize, like to emphasize means over and over, like you are going to make something extra for the internal cause for on the other actions. And sometimes it may be difficult to see external cause of others behavior. External cause of others behavior, sometimes it is very difficult to judge. And familiar modest error effect, and fairly modest means just normal, right? Normal error effects. So these are the attributes, the outcomes and errors. Self fulfilling prophecy. So this is self-fulfilling prophecy cycle. What is the meaning of this? This is totally based on our expectations. Totally based on expectations about other person. For example, in one organization, a supervisor have very good expectations about their employees, about their subordinates, that this time their output will be really good, and this time they are just going to make productions well, and the behavior between each other, that will be really good and healthy behavior. So that is the expectation of the supervisor, for example. So those expectations and result and everything, that is totally known as a self-fulfilling prophecy cycle. This is the cycle, right? Now the meaning is expectations about another person cause that person to act in a way that is consistent with those expectations. Consistent mean continuation, like exactly the same thing over and over, right? So this is a self fulfilling prophecy cycle. Look at this. We have the 4 points here in the cycle. The first one is supervisor forms expectation about the employee. This is the first. Supervisor has created some expectation for and about the employees. Now second, this is the first in the cycle, prophecy cycle. Prophecy means expectation cycle. Supervisor expectation affect their behavior towards the employee. Now first is expectations, the form of expectation is created. Now the once the expectation is created by the supervisor, that expectation is going to affect the behavior towards the employees. Now if I have high expectation, my behavior will be totally different. If my expectation is low, my behavior will be different. So this is the second point. Third is supervisor behavior, whatever he has set the behavior amongst their employees, that is going to affect the employees ability and motivation as well. Now supervisor behavior is going to affect the ability of the employees in the organization. Then next is employees behavior become more consistent. If the employees behavior is there, now employees behavior for this will be going to remain same, mean consistent for a long period of time with the supervisor's initial expectations. Because employees will be thinking like 1000 unit they were expecting to produce at the beginning. Now the employees for they were working for the long period of time, they will be having, now my boss or my supervisor expectation is 1000 units that we have to produce. Means employees the behavior becomes more consistent regarding this. So this is self fulfilling prophecy cycle that we need to understand in the organizational behavior. The first one, that with an example, supervisors forms expectation about the employees. The supervisor develop expectation about the employees future behavior and performance. What will be the future behavior and performance of the employees? This is what is created by the supervisor. Okay. The second is supervisor expectation definitely is going to affect the behavior towards the employees. Now, more emotional support through non-verbal cues, more smiling, eye contact they are having. It means that is also behavior. Some, for example, that you're working in some company and your employer is just looking at you just very badly, right? So they are not just polite with you, even their non-verbal, right? Non-verbal cues are different, right? Not smiling, just always looking at angry, and it means that it shows their behavior. So that will be more challenging goals, and the better training that will be required. The next is supervisor behavior affect the employees ability. Now we talk about employees ability in the third point. Better training is required and more practice is required for this one. Then it results in more skills and knowledge. An employee become more self-confident because they knew that my supervisor expectation is for this quarter is 1000 units that we have to produce. Employees behavior become more constant. High expectancy employees have a higher motivation and better skills, resulting in higher performance. Then opposite effect on the low expectancy employees. Expectations. Prophecy cycles is totally related to expectations. High expectancy employees means the employees who are working in the organizations, they are capable of meeting the goals. They are just going to fulfill the expectations of the supervisor. They have an ability to do that. That is high expectancy employees. Now, if we talk about the contingencies of the self-fulfilling prophecy, means we are talking about expectations. Self-fulfilling prophecy affects is strongest at the very beginning of the relationship. At the very beginning, the supervisor having this much of a relationship. When served, people hold same expectations. Like they have 1000 units, this is the expectation. When employees have low achievement, there is a low achievement. No doubt that definitely they will be trying to make trying to fulfill their expectations by making 1000 units, for example. Main lesson from the self fulfilling prophecy is that the leaders need to develop and maintain a positive yet realistic expectations towards all employees. Leaders here we can say the supervisors need to develop and maintain the positive thing, right? And the goals or whatever they have given, and that should be realistic towards their employees, right? So next will be minimizing a self fulfilling prophecy error. If there is some error, mean sometimes we do more expectation, less expectations, right? So we just at the time of making the target or giving the target or something, right? Then they need to make some corrections. So by this theory, that awareness has a minimal effect on reducing this bias. And spotting or learning organizational structure, no doubt they will be spotting by understanding their expectations, and hiring supervisors who are inherently optimistic towards the staff. In this case, the big organization definitely will try to understand this thing and will hire the supervisors who is definitely and automatically they are optimistic towards their staff, that their staff will definitely be going to give the very good effect and positive result. Now if we talk about perceptual effect, perception, again understanding. Halo effect is for example a sharply dressed co-worker might be judged to be more competent than a co-worker wearing a t-shirt. The one co-worker is there and the co-worker is to have worn the t-shirt and in like pajamas, right? And another one is that is well dressed. So some other people, what they will do, they will have the halo effect. Means this kind of people that seems to be more intelligent just by looking at the dress, right? So they are judging the people. It's a more competent, more intelligent, more productive. They will think like that. Means that is known as halo effect. Mean it means general impression of a person from one trait affect the perception of a person's other traits. One person traits going to affect on the another person traits. Sometime what will happen? There may be false consensus effect. The tendency to overestimate how much other people agree with us. This is what false consensus. Consensus means group of people and the effect of that. There is a normal tendency to overestimate, sometimes underestimate, sometimes overestimate how much other people agree with us. This is just estimation. So overestimate extent that others share our beliefs or traits. Recency effects. So what is the recency? Recency means it's related to the recent information. So most recent information dominates our perception. Last time, what did they do? Last year, this was their expectations. And lastly, what was the outcome? Right? So all these things that to be taken into consideration. Recent, last month, the output was this one. On the basis of the latest information, some people have some tendency and perceptions about that. So most recent observation overweighted in the supervisor's evaluation of employees' performance. So supervisor is going to evaluate. So primary effect. So what will be the primary effect? Quickly form opinion of other based on the first information received about them. The first information. What are the first information they have received? Accordingly, there will be some opinion. Maybe the second info may be contradicting that, but they will be considering the first information. So we can say the first impressions are the last impressions. First time, like this may be wrong. So we seek out confirming information, mean confirmation bias. First of all, that we need to confirm it, right? Confirmation bias of the first impression, particularly maybe the negative impressions. If there is a negative, then we need to consider that whether check it. That person having this kind of personality and attributes or attitude or not. They need to consider it. They need to reconfirm it. Not only on the basis of the first meeting. Subsequent meetings, subsequent evaluation process is also required in this organization. Now, this is the perception of the person. Now, how to improve the perceptions? Improving perception means awareness of perceptual biases. How we can improve the perception? We can improve the perception only when we are aware about these are the biases, these are the discrimination criteria. This is the, if we are thinking like this, it means that this is the base of the biasness for the discrimination. First of all, we should know, we should be aware about supervisor or owner or an organization, that they should be aware about what are the different biases are here, right? So the problem will be reinforces stereotypes and a limited effect on the prejudice. Prejudice means biasness. Improving the self-awareness. The person in the organization should be aware about their own self. And this is implicit associate test and JOHARI window. So what is that? I'm just going to explain it. Implicit association test IAT. This is implicit means just understood, right? It's by default, by implicit. Obvious. That is known as obvious. Estimate implicit biases towards the specific groups, means maybe the old people or a different ethnic group, age, right? So the problem will be difficult to avoid implicit bias activation, and sometimes more sensitized and self-conscious with the target group. Now, meaningful interaction. Become more and more aware of our beliefs, our values and attitude. So interaction means that when we are talking with each other in the one organization, number of times that we have to communicate, maybe to the bottom line, to the upper line, maybe to the parallel, our co-workers, maybe to our subordinates. So become more aware of our belief system, our values and attitude, and people work together on valued activities. And based upon the contract hypothesis, interaction, when we have interactions, that reduces the biasness, perceptual bias of others, and improve empathy. We should be empathy. From our heart, we should think like we should try to solve their problem, other problems. This happens when we have interactions. So understanding and being sensitive to the feelings of others and thoughts and the situation of others, right? Helping each other, right? Someone say like I'm just on the shift and I'm not feeling well. Will you be able to accommodate and help me in the shift? Some empathy, right? So this happens only that when we have a meaningful interaction. So in this case, that it improves perceptions. Now, Johari window, what is that? It means know yourself. How you will be able to know yourself? If, for example, that you want to know about yourself, this is one of the real very good methods. Johari window is a simple and a useful psychological tool for improving self-awareness and develop for an individual within a group. How you can improve yourself? Improving self-awareness. You should be very well aware about your attitude, your behavior. But how you will be able to know that? This is the model of self-awareness and mutual understanding that developed by the Joseph Loft and Harry Ingram. Hence, that is known as JOHARI. The 4 windows are there: open area, blind area, hidden area, and unknown area. So we have something area. What are those? The first one is the open area. It's information about known to you and others. It means this information is available to all the people, and also you are also aware about yourself. It means people know that you are this kind of personality, and also you know you are this kind of personality. Blind area, information known to others but not to yourself. You don't know who you are. You are not well aware about yourself, but other people know who you are. It's a blind area. Hidden area, information known to you. I know something, but I'm going to hide it. Unknown to the other. Other people don't know me. That is the hidden area. Unknown area means the values, the belief, experiences not known to you as well as not known to others. That is unknown area. So look at this. This is the model here, JOHARI window. Feedback from others. And here on the left hand side, we can see the disclosure to others. This is known to other and known to self, open area, the first one. I know I am an extrovert. Other people know that this guy is extrovert. I know if I know that I am so talkative and emotional, other people know that this guy is emotional. It's open area, open to everyone, open to me. I know this one, other know this one. Second, known to others. and known to self. So known to others here, if we talk about the blind area, known other people know that this is the blind area, but I don't know. Just like the blind spot, when we just drive a car, there is the blind spot. We should take care of the blind spot. Other people know that this is the blind spot, right? But we are not aware about that. We need to check it from the mirror, like from just moving our head back or left or right. It's the blind area. And here, hidden area is what? I know about myself. I am emotional, but I am not telling to anyone. Other people don't know about me, who I am. Unknown area, no one knows about me, and even I don't know about myself, about this quality. That is unknown area. This is one of the example that I have taken here. So known to others and known to self. This is the one, open area. Open area is saying he is adaptable, he is very helpful, independent, knowledgeable, modest, patient, and shy, and a sensible person. This is, for example, this is the one of the example, and which is taken by, for example, for you just asked to one of your friend that you just tell me about myself, like what kind of personality I am. So they are saying known to self means you know that, and also we know that you are this. And second one, this one area, not known to self but known to other, means blind spot, blind area. He is caring, yes, we know that he is caring. Known to others but not known to self. He doesn't know he is caring, he doesn't know he is friendly, he doesn't know he is intelligent. He's saying he doesn't know that, but we know that he is very intelligent. Sometimes your parents say, my son is very intelligent, my son is more intelligent, my daughter is not as much as intelligent as my daughter is. They know that. Your teacher may know who is intelligent, who is not, right? So this is that case. He is very kind, logical, mature, and he is quiet. He doesn't know whether he is quiet or not, right? So not known to other and known to self, hidden area. I know about. I am nervous, but I did not tell to anyone. I am nervous. I am emotional. I'm sentimental. I am tense, but I show that I am not tensed. I am introvert. I know that I am introvert. And this area, we don't know. Other people and even the person who is talking about, for whom that we are talking about, he or she doesn't know about himself or herself. Even other people also don't know about himself or herself. Means able, bold, brave, calm. No one knows that. Now at the end, we see that global mindset at EY. EY is the name of the company. EY is the organization which encourages employees to develop the global mindset, the big picture, through the international secondment. Secondment means job rotation. Secondments means job rotation. Means today the one person is assigned to this particular job. Tomorrow or maybe after a week, that person may be assigned to another job. Job rotation in the same organization, sometime from one organization to another organization. Now the professional service firm, this is EY, is the professional service firm, are actively looking for this perceptual ability to the job applicants. At the time of the appointment of the employees, they are looking for this kind of people, whether they will be able to work efficiently in the different departments at the time of secondment, means at the time of job rotation. Global mindset ability, it means the person that should be having that kind of ability means global mindset. They should be open-minded, right? They should be adopting to the global perspective. Adopting means changeable, adaptable, flexible, not rigid. empathizing and acting effectively across cultures, different cultures, different people from the different cultures working in the same organization, right? So they will be effectively acting along with them and processing complex information about the novel environment, developing new multi-level mental models. So developing a global mindset says that begin with the self-awareness, that starts with self, who you are, first of all, the self-awareness, and compare our own mental model with those people from the other culture or religion. You need to compare, my behavior is this one and the behavior of another person from another region, or maybe from the another religious point of view, or maybe from the culture point of view, from a different ethnicity. To compare that mental model, mean self model, self awareness, and develop better knowledge of people and culture. So this will be the solution. The developing means having or gathering more and more knowledge about the people and the cultures, preferably through the immersion. Immersion means the fact of becoming completely involved in something, emerging with the people, communicating with the people, get to know about them. That should be the global mindset. The person is a global mindset or not, the employer is going to seek that kind of information in the organization behavior. So this was all about perceptions, perceiving about ourselves and perceiving about others in the organization.